This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Bedridden 76-year-old woman brutally stabbed to death, grandson held. The Trelawney police have taken a 26-year-old man into custody for questioning in connection with the fatal stabbing of his 76-year-old grandmother on Sunday. The deceased has been identified as Violet Walcott of Allsads District, Wetabit, Trelawney. Reports are that on Sunday about 11 p.m., Walcott, who is bedridden, was found in her bed with what appeared to be multiple stab wounds to her head. Her 26-year-old grandson, a farmer of the same address, who was her sole caregiver, was subsequently taken into custody as a suspect in relation to her murder. He is to be questioned in the presence of an attorney soon. Several being questioned as manhunt underway for suspect in abduction of 2 St. Thomas girls. Assistant Commissioner Gary Griffiths, head of the Area 5 Police Headquarters, says several people have been detained for questioning as the police intensify their manhunt for the suspect in connection with the abduction of 2 minors in Bath, St. Thomas. ACP Griffiths gave members of the media an update on the investigation minutes after 13-year-old Winchie Barrett, who was abducted near her home on Saturday, was found in the hills of Springbank, St. Thomas, sometime after 11 o'clock.
Police have picked up a number of persons to interview based on intelligence, but we wouldn't say suspect in the sense that they were actually a part to the crimes that have been committed, but suspect in that there could have been dialogue between himself and those persons. Until we apprehend that suspect, we're asking them to exercise utmost care, especially for children, and we'll encourage them that when they're moving, they move in numbers until we can apprehend this one. Well, from all indications, she's weak. She has not had much based on the preliminary information we got. She didn't get much, she hasn't eaten much since she was abducted. So she's extremely weak and presently getting the medical care that is needed.
Is she speaking?
Yes, not saying much, but yes, she's speaking.
Earl Palmer, who assisted in rescuing Winchie, said residents went to the hills of Springbank after one of them became suspicious following the theft of items from his farm.
You make another alarm and say we have to come up there because things are right. So when we go up there now and start trod, we realize things are right, so we start search. When we go down the river stream, footstep.
Where exactly was this?
Between Springbank and Johnson Mountain Valley.
Okay.
In the valley, going up, way up, whole heap of miles up in the hills. So for some reason, I thought we had trod go up there. I trod, and I follow where we see, and follow. When we continue up here, then said somebody on the other side says Winchie here, and then we move to the side where they say Winchie, so the rest of man them, from me see Winchie, I couldn't leave Winchie because I know my birthday gift me ever.
Councillor wants to tap into emergency funds for road repairs. Councillor of the Boroughbridge Division in St. Anne's Southwestern, Winston Brown, has called for an agile approach in reconstructing roads in the division that were destroyed by heavy rains associated with tropical storms Grace and Ida in August. In a heated discussion during last Thursday's sitting of the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, Brown said scores of people in his division, which is predominantly known for farming, are suffering as the road that they once used to transport their produce to the market is impassable. It is a shame they cannot take their produce out. People's life and property are at stake. They are almost marooned right now, lamented Brown as he alleged that several major roads were severely damaged by the flood waters. The situation in Boroughbridge right now is that the road that leads from Davistown to Cascade, among others, has no access that trucks can go to and from. They are farming areas and people depend on that to survive. What are they supposed to do now? Brown questioned. He said he had asked for a detailed plan for the restoration of the roads in his division, but his cries for help have seemingly fallen on deaf ears. There are 5 huge breakaways on the roads, and from the storm passed through, we can't get a proper report on what is going to be done. At the last finance meeting, we were told that the estimates to fix the roads were sent to the ministry, and we haven't heard anything since, charged Brown. He said the issue must be dealt with as an emergency and asked Mayor of St. Anne's Sydney Stewart to request the funds allocated for emergency use to fix the roads. It is an emergency, and I know there are funds for emergency situations like this, so I hope I can get the funds needed for this project in due time, he urged. In response, Stewart said he understands that the matter is in fact an emergency and it will be discussed at the upcoming finance meeting. The mayor added that other divisions are also in need of emergency funding, so a proper allocation must be done before further steps can be taken. In our upcoming finance meeting, we will be able to decide how much money each division needs because all divisions suffer. So after we factor in all of this, then we can go from there, Stewart said. Give us a bit more time until we do the finances to ensure we are addressing it adequately. Thompson Hero confirms MVP Track Club departure. In a departure from her earlier statements, Jamaican sprinting star Elaine Thompson Hero has confirmed her split with the MVP Track Club, confirming reports first carried in the Gleaner that she had parted ways with a longtime coach Stephen Francis. Thompson Hero in a media release said that she has commenced her preseason training independently and will continue to train on her own while she finalizes all aspects of her setup for the upcoming season. In light of an abundance of requests from my fans and concerned Jamaicans, I want to assure everyone that I have begun my training independently and will continue to do so while I finalize all aspects of my team for the upcoming season, Thompson Hero said. I want to thank everyone for their support and express appreciation to those who have reached out in concern. I remain committed to representing my country and to lead with courage and grace, as I am aware that I inspire young women across the world who have dreams and who dare to see those dreams come to pass. Police say they prevented potential mass killing following cult-like incident in Mobay. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson says the police prevented a potential mass killing of women and children at a cult-like organization in Montego Bay, St. James on Sunday evening. 2 members of the church were killed during a ritual at the Pathways International Restoration Ministry of Montego Bay. General Anderson says a 3rd congregant was killed when a police team stormed the church after coming under fire.
We were very concerned that some form of ritualized killing was going to take place here, and so we did an entry last night. We found that there were a couple of people who had been injured by other members of the church, and we secured the premises, held the people. I think there were about some 14 children, was it? 14 children there, and we have 31 women now, so we see that as a rescue of these children based on what we saw when we came in. Well, we are also, we don't know that for certain, but there was a police woman here, and we are processing that as well.
Do you have any knowledge of any other members of the security forces that's a member of this congregation?
We're aware of a couple other people who may be a member of the congregation based on what we're seeing inside and so on. And of course, more information is coming in because of what happened last night. Well, the courts actually are sitting, the courts open today at actually 10 o'clock. We have the CPFSA there and the other services, child services and so on, to determine what should happen with those children and perhaps some of the other vulnerable people in the group. So the courts actually came, and so this has been an effort of many, not just the police, but clearly, you know, the courts are responding, the CPFSA, child services, all of the other entities are responding as well.
Robert Morgan, State Minister for Youth, said action was taken following the intervention of the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency.
14 have been remanded into the care of the state. They're split between 2 homes, and they've been remanded for 2 weeks. There were some relatives who turned up seeking to take custody of the children, but because of the nature of the situation, we're going to have to do our investigations, and the CPFSA is going to have to do psychosocial analysis of all these children to find out the true circumstances of their condition, as well as whether or not they they can be turned over to any family member, and that process is now activated.
DCP Fitzbailey, National Honoree, would not trade life as a police officer. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbailey would not trade life as a police officer, serving and protecting the people of Jamaica for any other career. For him, it is a decision he would make all over again if given the opportunity. For me, if I were to relive my life, it would be JCF again, and if I can serve an organization like this in the afterlife, it would be JCF. It has been a pleasure, an honor, a privilege. There were lows, but the better days are greater than the lower days. There were some lonely moments, but it was worth it, he told the news. Describing himself as a servant of the public, Bailey's career in the police force, which began 37 years ago, has seen him moving through the ranks based on a track record of success and a commitment and dedication to help. Joining the JCF, I see myself not as a master, but I see myself as a servant. If you see yourself as a Lord and a Master, then you are going to find the way you execute your duty is going to be a little abusive and excessive. So if we understand the concept of servanthood, that's how I do my policing. I am a servant of the public, and the public expects a certain behavior, conduct, and I am mindful of those realities right through my career. To be a police officer, it's not just a work, it's a calling, said the 2021 Government of Jamaica National Award recipient, who is in charge of crime and security. He shared that one of his commitments to self since joining the force is a greater respect for human rights. He explained that while he is mindful of the crime situation in the country, this is a mantra he shares with members of the force, particularly in the execution of their duties. I believe we can execute our job with the highest level of professionalism without abusing people, and that has been my mantra, he said. The senior policeman told the news that he accepts the honor bestowed on him by his country with the highest level of humility. I'm really humbled and grateful for this consideration. I think my only regret is that both my parents, they are not alive to see it. I accept it with the highest level of humility, thanks to the team that saw it fit to have vested this to me. I am really grateful, he said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.